Hello. Today we're going to talk about unit rates. A rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. 3 aides for 24 students. 3 aides for 24 students. We have a ratio that is comparing two quantities. They are measured in different units. 135 words in 3 minutes. 7 ads per pages. Notice it's written as ratio, 7 ads per 4 pages. A unit rate is a rate in which the second quantity compared is 1 unit. In a unit rate, the quantity in the denominator is 1. 300 miles in 6 hours. We can write it as a ratio, 300 miles over 6 hours, and show that we are going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. 300 divided by 6 is 50. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we get the unit rate of 50 miles for 1 hour. This is an example of a unit rate. Our denominator is 1. 275 square feet in 25 minutes. We write that as a ratio. We have our rate, a ratio, two quantities, different units. 275 feet squared in 25 minutes. If we take the denominator and we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, 275 divided by 25 is 11 feet squared. 25 divided by 25 is 1 minute. In a unit rate, our denominator is 1. We will find the unit rate by dividing the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So let's highlight that. We're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. A complex fraction is a fraction that contains one or more fractions in the numerator, the denominator, or both. Let's look at an example of a complex fraction. We could have 1/2 over 3/4. That is an example of a complex fraction. You can write your complex fraction as a division problem. 1/2 divided by 3/4. And remember, when we divide fractions, dividing fractions, don't be shy. Flip the second one over and multiply. So the first fraction stays the same. The division sign is changed to multiplication, and you flip the second fraction. 3/4 becomes 4 over 3. Then you can do multiplying fractions is not a problem. Take the top times the top, and the bottom times the bottom. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6, and then we can simplify that by dividing out 2 from the numerator and 2 from the denominator, so we are dividing by 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So an example of a complex fraction is a fraction that contains one or more fractions in the numerator, the denominator, or both. So we could see something like this where we'd have 2/5 over 3. That's an example of a complex fraction, but we only have a fraction in the numerator. Again, a complex fraction is a fraction that contains one or more fractions in the numerator, the denominator, or both. Some key words to look out for when we're working with unit rate problems. Lowest rate, best buy, unit price. Those are examples of some key words that are going to alert you to the fact that you're working a unit rate problem. And remember, when you do the unit rate problems, you are going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, because a unit rate is a rate in which the second quantity compared is 1 unit. So in a unit rate, your denominator will be 1. Let's look at some practice problems.